I love riding my motorcycle. The vibration just make me feel. What's up, guys? Triple Demon here. What's going on? So let's get this vlog on a roll. Pretty much all day today, the weather has looked like it was going to be terrible, and they kept saying it was going to rain, and it never rained. So I finally got out here to ride, and that made me think of something that I haven't really covered. I like to do a lot of motorcycle specific videos and stuff, especially stuff to cater to newer riders. I think that's something that's not touched by many people in the motovlogging community. But riding in the rain. So I'm just gonna like give you guys my first spiel on my first story of riding in the rain and how bad it was versus how bad I thought it would be, and some of my tips and tricks that I happen to utilize when I ride in the rain. So basically, my first time riding in the rain, I was at a environmental compliance class, because at work I'm pretty much one of the guys that attempts to make sure we dispose of all of our oil and all that crap environmentally friendly. And anyway, that's not the story. I was at the class or whatever, and it was like a 3-day affair or something like that, and they had motorcycle parking, and it was awesome, and the weather was great, and I was like, you know what, I'm a ride. So I rode in on my GS. Yeah, so I rode in my GS like every day that I had the class, and I want to say like on the second day it rained, and I had never ridden in the rain before, and before then I was pretty much led to believe that unless you've been riding forever in a day, if you went out and rode a motorcycle in the rain, you would die. You would go down. But seeing as I had no one to get me home, and it wasn't supposed to stop raining till like 12 o'clock that night, guess what I did? That's right, I rode in the rain, and it was freaking scary. That's right, I rode in the rain, and it was scary at first, but I took it really slow. I didn't jerk the throttle a lot. I mean, by then I had already learned clutch control, because the poor suspension on the GS, they let you know when you weren't being smooth. That's for sure. You know, forward and back and forward. Like, the suspension did not hide any of your riding flaws. That's for sure. Yeah, the suspension didn't hide any of your riding flaws like some of these nice modern bikes here, like the Street Triple or anything. You know, it told you when you were revving it the wrong way. But you know, I was super cautious. You know, going around the couple corners I had to go around to, I was super cautious starting out. You know, from a stop and making those right left-hand turns and stuff like that. Like, I was literally fairly afraid. But you know, I was just really careful, more careful than I normally was, and everything worked out fine. So basically, here are my tips for riding in the rain. Number 1, throttle control. Yes, that's right, throttle control. Obviously, I mean, throttle control is pretty much the key to anything. Oh, asshole. Throttle control is pretty much the key to anything motorcycle related. Like, whatever you do on a bike, throttle control is key, and it's even more key in the wet, because some of you guys that start out on more powerful bikes like mine, and you've been doing great in the dry, whoa, watch out in the wet. You know, I'm not saying that you can't do it, but if you're, you know, you're running around grabbing freaking handfuls of throttle, you know, if nothing has happened to you in the dry, I guarantee you something is going to happen to you in the wet. I promise you. So make sure you're good to go with your throttle. You know what you're doing. Another thing is braking. This Street Triple has ABS. My GS did not. I have locked the brakes on my GS before in the wet. And I wasn't even going that fast. But it can easily happen on a bike without ABS. So make sure your braking is firm, smooth. You don't want to. You don't really want to grab a handful of brake. You never really want to grab a handful of brake. Period. Don't grab a handful of brake. Obviously, you don't want to do it in the dry because you can lock your wheels. You definitely don't want to do it in the wet because it'll happen 10 times as quick. Even with this bike having ABS, I still don't grab handfuls of brake. It's just something that was ingrained in me in the GS that is going to probably stay with me with the Street Triple, even though it may actually be counterproductive to the way the ABS system works. But yeah, don't grab a handful of brake. Number 3, downshifting. Be smooth with your downshifts. Don't, sit there, stuff like that. Everything in the wet is smoothness. Silky, soft smoothness. You definitely don't want to, downshift too quickly. You don't want to make that back wheel chirp at all, especially if you guys don't have slipper clutches or anything. That is a big no-no for riding in the wet. Number 4, separate your braking and your downshifting. That's right, you don't want to do them at the same time. Go ahead and downshift and then brake. You never ever want to, excuse me. You never ever want to do all your braking and your downshifting at the same time. It's not a good thing to do. It's fine in the dry, but in the wet, that can definitely end your riding for that day fairly quickly by going down. Not really much to say other than it's self-explanatory. Number 5, $5 advice. All right, number 5, lean angles. Watch your lean angles. If you normally, take a turn going, 40 at full lean angle, if it's raining that day, take it freaking, 15 at half the lean angle you would normally do. You always want to have as much of that traction available. All right, number 6, which is one that's probably one of the biggest thing. If it hasn't rained in a while, and even if it has, rained just the other day, wait. That's right, wait. You don't really want to jump on the road as soon as it starts raining because you got all the oil that people leak out and all the diesel and shit like that Mack truck over there or whatever it is, 18-wheeler leaks out. If you give it time, roughly 15 minutes after it really starts raining, all that stuff should be washed off the road. Just pay attention, make sure you're watching for oil slicks and stuff, and you should be good to go. And finally, number 7. In the words of Red from That 70s Show, don't be a dumbass. Basically, don't do anything stupid. If you're riding in the rain, it's one of the most enjoyable and fun experiences, especially if it's a hot day. But, leave the stupid stuff like wheelies and freaking top speed runs and stuff like that. Leave that for another day. Don't do stupid stuff in the rain. That is the last time you really want to do anything stupid. Not that it's good to do anything stupid, ever. But if you're going to do something stupid, do it on a day that it's dry. Don't do it on a day that's wet. You're just asking for trouble. And then when you go crying to somebody else, everyone's going to laugh at you and tell you it's your fault. Just don't do nothing stupid. But that's about it, folks. I've successfully gotten myself lost, so I'm going to go ahead and turn around. As always, if you guys like my vlogs, comment, like, subscribe, check out my Facebook page, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Later.
Links 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Roger.
5, wind 4, clear to drop.
6-5, roger.